Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Dominion Gaming TV. My name is Wolf, and today I am bringing to you some more Starcraft 2 action. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's introduce our two players spawning in the bottom left hand side, playing for the last resort. His name is Remnant, and his opponent spawning in the bottom right hand side in the blue. His name is Ben. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have ourselves a ZVT, and this will end up being on Newkirk District, I think Precinct, one of the two. Either way, good macro games can ensue from this. It reminds me a lot of Shakura's Plateau, being relatively close by air, having a big main, and then having this third location here, natural here, and then you have these things in the center. So it reminds me somewhat of Shakura's Plateau, but it's a lot different. It's really open and a pretty awesome map. From the looks of things, it is going to be hatch first out of Remnant. Nope, going to go the gas pool on 15, I would believe. Gonna go probably a 1-ranks expand here for Ben. Just gonna be a relatively standard play here. I'm not sure why he's getting the gas pretty early. Guess yeah, pool on 15. So this is indicative that he wants to do a bit of speedling pressure. He's gonna keep the two people in the gas until he gets 100 gas, and by the time this is finished, he'll be able to get the speed upgrade. So that'll be handy for him. Ben walling off quite nice and early so that Remnant cannot actually get any sort of vision on what's happening inside the base. Now, ZVT is something that I've quite recently actually been very loving on the Zerg side of things. I've played 3 ZVT games on ladder in a row, and all of them have been really fun. Mainly, you go Ling Bane Ling Muta into Ultra. That is the standard playstyle these days against Terran. Just go massive amounts of Lings and Banelings and have Mutas to counter the drop play. But we'll see what Remnant decides to do. There have been actually quite a good few roach timings on this map I've seen, and you can do quite a fair bit with it. But Reaper's now going out across the map. Needs to be careful though. Natural is about halfway complete, and Command Center now just on the way for Ben. Factory coming down. Could be Widow Mines, could be Hellions. Either way, they're going to be a pain against this Zerg. Got 4 Lings out with the sick ass skin on them. Got the Reaper going to come in here, do whatever damage he can. He could probably snipe 2 or 3 Lings here. Needs to be very careful though. He does snipe 1 Ling, and the Reaper will keep on poking onto these Lings here. Go back towards the main base here, but the Queen is here. Needs to be very careful of that. Ling speed is almost finished. He needs to also be careful about that. Bunker is going down here next to the naturals, so if he gets some more Reapers or something out, he could actually sit here and do a lot of damage. Now speed is about to finish in a few seconds, in 5 seconds. She's going to micro back against the Lings here. The Bunker will finish up here, so that'll help him out significantly in defending against this clean play. Inject does go down onto the natural and main. Now all commands all round. Going to be changing out the barracks for the factory here. Remnant just decided to go and counter against this. He does have the 2 queens here, so he will be 3 queens actually. He will be able to kill off the SCV and kill it off. Now the Lings are actually going to go straight for the natural here. There's nothing here to be able to defend for the time being. Needs to be very careful. 2 Hellions are on the way though, so if he could be able to defend this and repair it if he does this properly. I just need to pull some SCVs or else these Lings are going to get into the main. No SCVs are being pulled, but Remnant doesn't actually know how long until these Hellions are actually spawning, so he wasted some time there. Now some SCVs are coming in, and the Hellions will end up spawning, wasting a little bit of time there on that attack right there. A bunch of Lings are being made right now. Now, Remnant looking to macro up and take his natural, getting a Roach Warren to be able to repel off the Hellions. I prefer just to go large numbers of Lings, but then again, Blue Flame is quite scary. Now, 4 Hellions are coming out at a time, so he's going to be looking to go for high numbers of Hellions and potential Widowmines in a short moment. Maybe thinking that Roaches are, maybe thinking that he's only going to go Lings. This large number of Hellions could do a lot of damage. Just be careful though, because Remnant needs to be quite. Ben needs to be quite. Remnant needs to be quite careful. He does have 4 command centers really quickly here, and all he has are these Hellions to be able to defend. If Remnant plays this right, he could end up killing him right now, because all he's got is Hellions on the way. Hellions will be quite a bit of a problem for him, but not for long. Roaches are out. Spore does go down at the front. These Hellions just going to check out to see if the third has been taken. Widowmines are now on the way though, just to be able to defend run-bys. Widowmines are quite a fun defense. Now third base has gone down for Remnant, but the third base has already been landed here, and he's looking to take another expansion here. He's going to go up to 4 bases really quickly, looking to mech in this game, getting 2 additional factories here in this. Now the Hellions will start roasting down onto the hatchery, but the Ling's going to get a massive surround, but a lot of the supporting Hellions are coming in from behind, and the Ling's going to go down really quickly here, but the Roaches will be able to get off a lot of good damage, and the first wave of Hellions do go down, but all of those Lings go down in the meantime. The Roaches will follow against the Hellions, but sees the Widowmine and will back off here. Now additional Roaches are being made here for Remnant. Having these extra command centers are going to be very handy for him. Now Widowmine's going to be going out across the map here, going to put on a bit of pressure with these. I can see a lot of damage, a lot of a good contain happening here. Seen some Terrans just going a lot of Widowmines, just basically ignoring this high number of Hellions and getting Widowmines. It is quite a good contain, but he needs to be very careful. Now the Widowmines are going to go down. One will end up, no, it won't get sniped, and all of the Widowmines do go off on the Roaches, and the Roaches will go down, but one Widowmine goes down as well. The Spore Crawler is able to see them, and all of the Widowmines go down because of the Spore Crawler being there, being able to scout it out with its detection range. That push is essentially repelled because of it. Now Lair is on the way for Remnant. Remnant is we're about to find out what Remnant is deciding to go in his Templar. I do believe it will be anything. It could be Swarm Hosts or Hydras, Roach Hydra. Either way, that will be his tech choice, because he is getting the +1 upgrade for range. So it seems he will be deciding to stay in that path. And again, it could just be for this first time. 4th base being taken out by Remnant. The 4th of Ben right now isn't actually that saturated, but that is okay. Now, a bit of an engagement down here. Widowmines will go down. The Widowmines need to be very careful though. They could do a lot of damage. 3 Widowmines actually get launched on the one Roach. One Widowmine does go down, but he's doing quite good damage here. If he can keep these Widowmines alive, he should be okay. Now tanks are on the way though. These tanks will be very handy in being able to keep up a good contain on his opponent, but Remnant does have 4 bases right now, but so does Ben. Now this push here needs to be very careful. The Widowmines will go off though onto the Roaches. Roaches actually getting a pretty good spread here. Now Glial Reconstitution as well as the Pneumatized Carapace, which does what? Allows Overlord speed. Alright. Now we're getting an Infestation Pit and a Hydra Den, so he could just be looking to go up to Hive Tech straight away. Hydra Tech is on the way. Hive Tech is on the way, or will be allowed to become on the way in a short moment. Now Remnant and Ben here just doing the dance with Terran vs Zerg with this Widowmine Hellion soft contain. A bunch of Roaches being made right now. +1/+1 about to complete. Currently, Ben is on 0-0 for his meching army. He's keeping the most of his army back at base. He could send them in. It's a lot of Widowmines. Widowmines could be very, very handy in this situation. Ben is about to be surrounded by on all sides by creep here. This could be a bit of a situation for him if Remnant gets a good flank with some roaches. But now the army of Ben is looking to push out a little bit further. +1 attack is on the way. Drilling claws as well to be able to support these Widow Mines. Now he needs to be very careful. The Widow Mines actually going to get focus fire down. One Widow Mine, all four Widow Mines do go down, but only doing one shot each, which is not what you want. The Overseer will end up chasing down this army. He needs to be very careful though. He's going to be setting up here. Creep does go down, and he will not be able to do anything about that. But the siege tanks will be setting up here with all of those Widow Mines. The Widow Mines are going to be able to do so much damage. He needs to be very careful. The Widow Mines actually do so much damage though. And the siege tanks doing a bit of damage here, and all those roaches go down really quickly. Now Thors are on the way as well as +2/+2. These Hellions need to be very careful though. He's going to be lining up the roaches, but not the most cost-efficient way of fighting off those roaches. Now 4 bases for both of these players. Gas taken on all bases here for Remnant. Remnant getting the gas that he wants and needs. Same as Ben. Ben is starting to saturate his 4th base here. He's got quite a few workers. Total of 73, which is a few more than that money number. He's going a little bit over 93 for Ben. Remnant. Remnant now mixing into the Hydras, mixing Hydras into his mix. Soon to be Vipers. Vipers are excellent for this sort of play. And we put down some extra Evo chambers to get some energy on. Roach Hydra Viper seems to be the style that you go against mech these days. Now the question is, do Widow Mines get affected by the blinding cloud of the Viper? 2-2 about to complete, as well as the range here for these Hydras. Spy Tech is on the way if he wants to get some Corruptors into the mix. Now, all these Widow Mines, they could do a lot of damage. He needs to be very careful. Scan does go down. He'll be spreading out the Widow Mines so that they can engage in the most efficiently, killing off some creep while he's at it. But so we're just going to be spreading out his army. Remnant is going to set up a good flank if he can. Siege tanks setting up all around. The Vipers are almost ready, getting some energy off of the Evo chamber right now. But the push is going to come in here. He needs to be very careful with how he attacks. The Widow Mine's going to be very, very painful. And the Hydra's going to come in here, and a good duct would be able to kill it off. A blinding cloud does go down on the Thor and the siege tank. The siege tank can't actually do anything right now. And more blinding clouds do go down onto the tanks, and these Roach Hydra forces will be able to come in here and get a good flank, and we'll be able to kill off this entire force of Ben right now. Ben losing so much supply, but he did lose a massive number of Hydras right there too. Those Widow Mines need to get another Overseer to be able to kill them off. A lot of roaches being spawned here right now. He could just go in full macro mode and do a lot of damage, but Remnant is setting up some command centers, more than likely for planetary fortresses, if that's spare money that he has. He needs to be careful though, because a Mutatech switch is a possibility as well, but Thors are a thing, so it won't be that much of a problem. Now Remnant looking to push out across the map. Going to be putting on a bit of pressure. Only +2 on the way now for his meching army, but +2/+2 is here. Remnant is starting to go. No, he was going to go up to the north and actually scout out this new base and the 4th base. I don't think he's actually seen the 4th yet. He's only seen that there's only those 4 bases there. He needs to be very careful though. Widow Mines are going to be a very good tool to use in defensive fashion. But he cannot get himself flanked like this. These siege tanks could do so much damage if they sieged up in time. Now, he's going to keep on dancing here. He's currently maxed. He's got a lot of Zerglings. He's going to send them down to the southern base over here to kill them off. Now, the Roach is going to come in here. He needs to be very careful, though. The command center will go down and will start to turn into a planetary fortress. The Lynx kill off all of the SCVs down here. Now, he's able to kill off the SCV chasing them. He's not even going to lift up the command center here. Remnant just remaxing now, getting +3/+3. Going to be going up to the north here. It's going to be able to kill off these command centers. Just be very careful. Vipers, a bunch of Vipers going to be staying with him. The Lynx going to go around and do some damage onto the Thors here. Needs to be very careful though. All of these Widow Mines could do so much damage if they set themselves up in the right location. This base over here will end up going down. He's actually going to go for a counterattack. I don't think this is the right idea right now, but he has separated his opponent's army from his base. So he's just spread up the Widow Mines. Now the army is going to come in here from the north. Massive blinding cloud. He needs to burrow the Widow Mines. He does. Massive shots is going to happen here. A massive part of Remnant's army does go down. The Hellbat's going to come in here and do a lot of damage, but the reinforcements will be on the way in a moment. Hydra's going to try and kite the best of their ability. Blinding cloud does go down, and a lot of the Vipers did go down. And massive Widow Mine hits there, destroying almost all of Remnant's army there. It was intense. 22 roaches are on the way. Remnant is deciding to back up here, form up, and be able to push in a short moment. Now, whereas Ben is looking to hold this center location, get ready to make a push, get some more Hellbats, get some more tanks, and get some more upgrades, so that he can beat his opponent. Now, up to his 5th base, I do believe. Remnant taking the gas for this. Hive tech possibilities are on the way. He does have that hive. He could go into ground up melee ultras or something, but then just not the greatest choice in this situation. Widowmine's going to be going up towards the north here, and clearing out some creep as well, if he can. Now he's set up his army in 2 hotkeys, I do believe, in two little groups here. One army to go forward, and he needs to be very careful though. He needs to be very careful. The army here is going to come in here and actually catch a while before they're sieged up here, but the Widowmines do so much damage to Remnant's army. Remnant needs to be very careful. More roaches are on the way. These siege tanks doing so much damage. 60 versus armored. The creep tumors are going down now. Remnant needs to spread out his army, which is exactly what he's doing, but he needs to be careful about it. The Vipers could pull in this siege tank here. Needs to be very careful though. Splitting up here. He can't just attack from the one direction. It will be a bit of a meat grinder right now. It's a little bit spread out. But the reinforcements of Ben are here. He's currently down 3 supply right now. He's going to be going into Mutatech right now. He's going to go for a massive tech switch to go for a counterattack. This army's going to come in here and do a lot of damage to his opponent's base, and Remnant is going to lose his 3rd base more than likely right now, but the siege tanks are sieged up right now. He needs to be very careful. This meat grinder is going to be so painful, but Blinding Cloud does go down on top of some of the units, but not all of the siege tanks, and all the Vipers go down because of the Widow Mines, but the Widow Mines have been wasted onto the Vipers, and the mutants will be able to kill up the siege tanks. There's nothing here to defend the siege tanks. The 3rd base will go down though, but the Widow Mines will end up getting off cooldown in a short moment. He needs to build a lot of units right now, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's building a total of 50 lings right now. So many lings he's going to build right now. But the Widow Mines and the Hellbats are going to be quite scary. We're sending the queens and whatnot. There needs to be so careful if there's mutas. The mutas can just get killed by the Widow Mines. The Widow Mines are going to get focus fired down, so they do die, but the tanks will also die also. Ling's going to be coming in here into the meat grinder. The meat grinder is going to be too much for him though, and he's going to but he decides to back up here to keep these tanks alive for another day. But he needs to be so careful. His Widow Mine's going to go down and kill off these mutas. The mutas are in such a big flock, killing off 2 or 3 mutas there. Some Widow Mines are going down as well. Some stuttered Widow Mines here right now. Then Remnant in a bit of a situation here, trying to kill off this Hellbat, but it does go down. This command center is being made again. They can get up to a total of 7 bases each side. Currently looking to take his 5th one. No, his 6th one, because he is money from this one, but a little bit inefficiently. Now the Mutaflock is going to come in here and kill off the missile turrets. He could kill off a lot of units right now. He's going to kill off the missile turrets first, so that he can get in here nice and safely. He's going to kill off so many SCVs right now. He could just abuse this. He's going to send the links to the north side and do so much damage. +1 melee attack is on the way, as well as Locust is on the way. Now he does see the Widow Mines and decides to back off here and go back towards home. More roaches going to be going out on the map right now. He needs to be very careful of these siege tanks right now and Thors, but the Zerglings going to be able to do so much damage. He's just going to leave them though and head back home with these lings to keep them for the next fight. Now he needs to be very careful. He's actually going to send the lings back into the 4th base here. Ben looking to put on a bit of pressure, but I don't think he can right now. He doesn't have a whole lot of units. He's going to use these Zerglings to attack the SCVs, but instead has to focus on to the Thor. The Thor getting so many kills right now, doing so much damage each shot to these lings. So many Widow Mines. These Widow Mines, oh my god, could kill off all of Remnant's army, all of his Mutaflock, but no, deciding to build a ring of turrets to defend it instead. Still not killing off the rocks here. Now a new 5th base is being taken here. Ben, 200 supply. Remnant isn't anywhere near it, needs to be so careful. These Thors will be able to kill off these clumped up mutas very, very quickly if he's not careful. Now he does have Swarm Host. His Swarm Host will be able to do a fair bit of good damage against the ground forces. Actually, there is no SCVs here to be able to repair. There isn't that many, so he'll be able to slowly whittle down his opponent. But the Widow Mines are gonna burrow right there, and he will not be able to actually take them in and be able to do anything. But this base will be taken down again. The Widow Mines will actually fire on them, and you have to be very careful with these mutas. The Thors are sitting there. Swarm Host almost going down to that one Widow Mine. Now he needs to be so careful of the mutas. The mutas, they're just gonna get targets fired by all the fucking Thors, and the Widow Mines and the Thors do so much damage. All the mutas are gone now. +2 flyer attack as well as +2 melee is on the way. These Locusts trying to whittle down this mech force here, losing another Swarm Host right now. So many Swarm Hosts, they could do so much damage. And more Widow Mines going to be coming in here though. And these Widow Mines are going to be able to do so much damage. He's going to slowly whittle down this army, but he needs to be so careful. He's going to move back his Swarm Hosts right now. His Roach is just going to go on a counter-attack. This is a good move by Remnant. Remnant is in a bit of trouble, but he doesn't have the force to engage this directly, so he's just going to use the Swarm Host to slowly whittle it down while counter-attacking with these Roaches. He's doing a great move here. Mules being dropped will be able to repair up a lot of these forces. So many Widow Mines, a total of... how many Widow Mines? 25 Widow Mines on the western side of Ben's army here. Needs to be so careful. He could lose a lot of these Widow Mines if he doesn't burrow them right now. Now the Swarm Host will all go down, but the Thor's taking some damage as well. Now the Roaches are coming in here doing so much damage, kill off a lot of SCVs and ended up forcing the lift. He's going to focus fire down onto the Planetary Fortress. Going to go into the natural here, but all these Swarm Hosts going to be able to focus fire down and do a lot of damage to these Thors. Going to slowly whittle down the army. Remnant not actually moving these Roaches right now. The army is going to continuously push forward into the fourth base here of Remnant. He needs to slowly send these Swarm Host back and back, or else he's just going to lose his army. Swarm Host is actually able to kill another Thor. The Roaches are now actually being controlled right now. He's going to go down here towards the third base even. The fourth base has actually been killed now for Remnant. Remnant slowly sending these Swarm Hosts back and sending him towards his army. And sending reinforcing Roaches down here and to kill off a lot of these units. A lot of Blue Flame Hellions though coming in here is going to kill off a lot of these Roaches. It needs to be so careful killing off a Thor here. Now the Widow Mines are on cooldown right this second. He's going to focus fire down 1 or 2 Thors here. One Thor does go down. This base over here will slowly go down. More and more Roaches are being made. He's going over here. He's going to be able to kill off a lot of SCVs. The SCVs have nowhere to go, but Ben is still pushing right now. The Widow Mine's going to be going off onto the Broodlings and the Swarm Host, the Locusts. And he needs to be very careful. He needs to move in the Locusts. He's going to go in towards the natural here. This is going to be intense. The army of Ben is really big, but it's slowly being whittled down. Remnant is slowly getting further and further ahead right now. But the Roaches are going to come in here and help out in a counter attack. There's a lot of Blue Flame Hellions, but he's going into the natural here. He's going to lose his evolution chambers and his natural. He needs to be so careful. Rebuilding his Spire, rebuilding his Hydra Stand, rebuilding all of his tech now up in this northern base, his last mining base right now, just so that he can survive in this game. He's got quite a large bank and he will be able to use that to his advantage, but his opponent doesn't. His Overlords are going to get hit now by the missile turret. These Roaches here need to go into the natural and do some damage. Ben is slowly pushing, keeping the Widow Mines on the ramp here. This will be able to force a Remnant. This will force Remnant to not be able to attack. Siege tanks going down there as well, so he will not be able to attack here. But now the Ultralist Den is on the way over here. This could be the deciding factor. Part of this Spire as well. A whole bunch of Ultras right now could be very handy. But now the Blue Flame Hellions are going to come in from the back here. Could do so much damage. They have +3 attack and they're going to do so much damage even though these units are over armored right now. The army of Remnant is slowly whittling down Ben's army. Ben is really spread out right now. He's going to do as much damage as he can, but he doesn't have a lot of backup here. This is all that he has. He's going to slowly kill off these bases here. Remnant deciding to expand up here to the northeastern side of the map. His main will get taken out by now, but these little Broodlings are actually going to do damage to the Thors. The Thors are going to slowly go down. Now the SCVs do go down. That's a lot of Hellions right now. The Swarm Host slowly coming in here and actually ended up slowly whittling down the Widow Mines. There's next to no Widow Mines. The Locusts are going into the back of Ben's army. Ben is losing his siege tanks right now. Now the Hellions and siege tanks are going to be engaging Remnant's army. Remnant is coming in here to get nice and close and personal to these siege tanks. Going to slowly focus fire them down. Widow Mines helping out in the engagement. He does end up killing all the tanks. He needs to be very careful though. These Hellions need to get away right now. Remnant has next to nothing. He only has 4 Thors, 1 siege tank, 4 Hellions, and 13 Widow Mines. Right now, there's just so many forces for Remnant. Remnant is in a commanding lead. He has an established mining base, whereas his opponent only has a few resources left at this natural. He needs to be so careful right now in engaging. But these Locusts will be able to come into here into the main, and will be able to kill off his opponent's forces. Locusts going to kill off the Thors. And there just isn't anything he can do right now. Ultras are being made, and these Thors are going to try and push in here and do what they can, but they just can't. There's 2 Widow Mines here, but that won't be enough to kill off everything. And all the Locusts are going to come in here now, and the Locusts are going to come in and kill off the Thors. Right now, these Ultras are sitting over here to be able to defend this mining base over here. More Spinecrawlers are on the way. He does know that that's the location of his opponent's base, so he's going to send in all of his Widow Mines, but little does he know that there's Ultras nearby, and that there's so many Spinecrawlers. He needs to be so careful. He could lose all of his mines right now. He's going to be able to kill off a lot of drones if he's not careful. 1 drone does go down though, and the Ultra's going to come in here and kill off all of these Widow Mines, and they're just trapped. The Widow Mines can't do anything. There's 1 Thor that is left on 2 HP. It's going to go down in the next wave of Locusts that go up into the main. Now, the Ultras are going to be reinforcing this army over here. He's going to try and run away with these Widow Mines, but he just can't do it. The Overseer is nearby. The Spore Crawler, sorry, is nearby, so we'll be able to see it. The drones are not able to mine, but he does have the bank to be able to deal with it. Now, the Widow Mine will end up focus firing down onto the Ultras. The Ultras not taking that much damage from it. Another mining base over here still hasn't killed off these rocks at all. Remnant with 2 somewhat mining bases. He's only mining from 1 base minerally, re-expanding to the bases with minerals right now. He's killed off the Thors. Ben is in a lot of trouble, under 100 supply right now. Now +3 armor is here, +2 attack is done for these Ultras, so they're able to do a lot of damage, 41 of each swipe. Few siege tanks and Widow Mines are here, but Ben is in such trouble right now. His economy is so low, and he knows it. He's only got these 2 patches left, and the Ultra's going to come in here and do a lot of damage to the Ultras. The Ultra's taking so much damage from the Widow Mines and the siege tanks, killing off 4 of the Ultras, and maybe another 1 to go after this. The Locusts coming in though. The Locusts will be able to whittle down this army. This was the deciding factor that saved him from this game. Locust going to focus firing down onto the tanks. He doesn't care for the Hellions right now. The Locust going to be able to do so much damage. Siege tanks going to siege up here. He's going to go into the natural here and kill off all of these SCVs right now. Now, the Widow Mines are actually going to set himself up so that he can kill off all the Ultras. The Ultras will not be able to escape right now, but the Locust is going to come in here and attack from the 6. The Ultras need to be so careful. He's going to be able to kill off some of these Widow Mines right now. He needs to be so careful though. If he kills off the Widow Mines, he'll be really safe and be able to kill off the army really quickly. But no, the Ultras will go down right now. But the Locust coming in here, killing off any reinforcements right now. There is no mining right now for Ben right now. He's putting down all of his mules on top of that army. Now, Remnant has burnt through his resources, but he still has that mining base to the north, and Ben is only on scraps right now. He's getting ravens, but it's going to be too late. Yes, there's no anti-air for Remnant right now, but his ground army is just going to be able to beat his opponent every time. He needs to be careful. He could lose off a few swarm hosts here. No, he could lose them. A scan could go down and kill it off. He's going to take this order command over to this base over here and try and defend it. The swarm hosts can be able to kill it off. Swarm hosts do actually outrun Banshees, and now another hive is on the way, as well as some Hydralisks to be able to fight off these Banshees. Now he's trying to float this command center over here to be able to mine off the minerals over here, but the Ultra's going to come over here and kill it off really quickly. The only mining base that Ben has left is now this one, but it's not even mining right now. Total of 85 resources right now at its natural. These command centers will go down. These mules could have gone down right then. Trying to go to the closest command center they can. All Remnant needs to do right now is build hydras and he'll be safe. He's expanding again, taking that lead, keeping the economy that he has, using it to his advantage. He has a lot of ultras, a lot of swarm hosts. He needs to be very careful. The Seeker missiles on top of his army. He needs to spread them out. He does spread one hydra out and separates it from his opponent. But this mining base has been made, and it will be taken out in a matter of seconds. Hydra's going to focus fire down onto the orbital command. Now a good Seeker missile does go down onto the Ultra, but the Ultra doesn't take that much damage from it. The Locust is going to come in here and be a buffer zone. The Locust is going to be able to do so much damage, and Ben was defeated, leaves the game. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Remnant from the Last Resort takes this game away. I'm going to let you guys know this now. I got a massive replay pack from all of the players from TLR. I got a matchup from each of the players. I got a ZVZ, a ZVP, and a ZVT for Remnant. I got a similar situation for each of the players for TLR, so I'll be casting a bunch of their games as well as Carnage. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.